how did you get that footage of Diddy?
I feel that most journalists would not disclose their sources.
If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time. My favorite villain? I kind of like Diddy.
There are no misconceptions about me.
Diddy, President Bieber.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Like, I'm calling you and answering.
Yeah, that was a little.
That was weird. That was weird. They did not run through beef.
That was. Why you not answering your phone?
One person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent. And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. The other end of that, every person who has tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry.
Was he really in? And who was actually responsible for what happened to him? Was it Diddy or someone else entirely?
I mean, you good?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, young brother, everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Right, okay.
Remember?
Yeah.
My number.
Yeah.
When just
You guys, are you working together?
I'm not. I mean, I think that we've become friends in a strange way, you know.
Like Robin Big.
Yeah. It's like exactly.
I'm big and you're Robin.
Yeah. No, I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person besides his talent. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
Justin, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, he could buy you one also.
Got me a Lamborghini.
That's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he got access to the house, and he knows better than me talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Justin Bieber's rise looked like a modern fairy tale. But behind the fame, there was a more unsettling reality. A young talent navigating powerful adult environments with little protection. Moments once seen as normal now feel questionable. And it raises a difficult question. Who is responsible when youth is traded for opportunity?
We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. When she signed to Usher, I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
4 years, 50 Cent positioned himself as an outsider to Diddy's circle. His warnings were dismissed as rivalry. But now, with growing pressure and changing...
Usher, what Usher say? I seen some things I shouldn't have been seeing at that age. What does that tell you? that he's seen some things, he was around some things when he was young that he shouldn't have been at a Diddy party. So that's going to show you that there are certain things that are happening that's going on that here is this kid was saying he shouldn't even seen it and been around it himself. So all the other celebrities who saw it and they stand quiet about it. Ain't that in our culture? No snitching.
And I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business. Right? I know, and people know, that was around there in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bro, you know.
Diddy's influence went far beyond music. He controlled access to spaces where careers could rise or fall. Justin Bieber's presence in that world highlights a bigger issue. A system where power flows through private networks instead of transparency.
Dropped this song, it went over our heads. It's actually about Diddy this whole time. Which video? The song Lonely. Let me see.
Everybody knows my past. Houses with native black. Maybe that's the price you pay for the money and fame at an early age.
He even came out and said stuff about how when he was younger, he was being taken advantage of, which is true. The problem was being a victim of the diddler. What happens? Because he has so much dirt on you, if you go out into the public, he may have videos, he may have embarrassing things, he might even have incriminating footage of you doing things that you were forced to under the influence to do.
The deeper concern isn't just what happened behind closed doors. It's why accountability failed in the first place. In a system built on power, boundaries blur. Saying no can cost everything. So the real question becomes, who has the power to refuse, and who pays the price when they can't?
Guys, the leaked video of Justin Bieber partying with P. Diddy has just emerged, and it looks horrifying. Bieber was not in his right state of mind. Here's the video.
Oh, he's bad boy now.
Look at that. Whoa, look at that.
Here's your icon alert.
Look at that. Does that look normal to you guys? What's going on here? He gets down on his knees, starts drinking. Diddy right there. Look at his eyes.
Long before Bieber, Usher had already experienced similar pressures in Diddy's circle. When patterns repeat across generations, it's no longer coincidence. It's a system. And the real question is, why did nothing change?
I'm tired of Usher. I wish somebody would come out and just like sue him. Like, we need Usher. No, we do. We need a victim to come out and be honest about him. Because what I'm realizing is that he's going to fake the funk until the victim, man. He's just going to keep on sucking the devil's. And I don't know, you know, like with a baby, that pacifier, sometimes you gotta pull it out. You know what I'm saying? And take it away. Right? When the baby's used to sucking on the pacifier. That motherfucker gonna keep sucking on that shit until you do what? Till you take it out the mouth. Now it's gonna scream and holler, but eventually it will get used to the fact that his mouth is no longer full with that object. And that it's time to just, you know, learn how to live without it. He been sucking on Diddy's dick a long time. It's time for him to learn how to make this thing happen without the devil's dick in his mouth or ass.
Oh, you don't think if he sued, he'll just Lil Woody the situation and I don't recall? I don't recall.
No, because I think if a victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious this shit is. Because if he can be a predator, then anybody can be a predator.
As scrutiny grew, many stayed silent, but 50 Cent kept speaking. It exposed an unspoken rule in the industry. Speak up and lose relationships. Stay quiet and protect them. Can real accountability exist in a system like that?
Seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first.
Yeah.
Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like. What kind of fucking asshole do you gotta be to take another boy, another talented boy, and put him in your place so it ain't gotta be you?
Justin Bieber has never accused Diddy of wrongdoing. But his struggles with anxiety and pressure tell another story. A young star, surrounded by powerful figures, navigating fame without proper support. Sometimes, the damage isn't visible immediately. It shows up later.
Usher look like he fresh off goddamn plane. Usher
Fresh off the guard stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like that's how. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the frosted flakes because he used to always get up early. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world.
Yo, what did Puff just say? Nobody's gonna acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the frosted flakes and we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was stupid.
Usher is a procurer. And if Usher knew what was gonna happen to any of those young children that he took to the Flavor Freak off, is he a good guy? Especially considering what happened to him. Especially considering that he sat with Howard Stern and Howard Stern said, would you send your kids to Puffy's Flavor Camp? And his immediate response was, hell no! So it's good enough for everybody else's kids, but it's not good enough for you. Yours are just good enough to die in Lake Lanier with no real investigation. Got it? Like, these aren't good people!
All right, Jay.
He's not good! He's a... And the simple fact that Justin Bieber literally made a public statement and said, Usher asked me to do the Super Bowl with him and I turned it down.
Well, for his.
Why would he turn it down? Who turns down the Super Bowl?
This isn't about legal judgment. It's about human impact. Pain doesn't always appear instantly. Sometimes it builds quietly over time. So why do we wait for proof? Before we acknowledge something may be wrong?
So quick. Yeah, of course she's crazy. She's a superstar, right? So, yeah. So you're there and you see her and you see the way she's reacting to you. And I wonder what was going through your mind, because I never had a chance to ask you that. Because I know what was going through her mind, because I never had a chance to ask her that. And it's pretty clear in the video what's going through her mind. She can't even. What was going through your mind when you saw that kind of reaction? And also now in the knowledge that you were just coming out of that space yourself. I wanted to protect the moment you know, I don't know how many opportunities I'm gonna get. You know, we never know how many opportunities we're gonna get with anybody. I mean, just I'm tearing up thinking about it, just with the Kobe situation, you know. You just never know. And so I just wanted to be a good example, you know, and yeah.
Did you feel protective of her?
Yeah, I definitely feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, you know, telling me they love me and, you know, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, you know, she can count on me, but at the end of the day, I'm never gonna force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, you know, let her do her thing, and if she ever needs me, I'm gonna be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments, because people take for granted encounters, and yeah, so yeah, I just want to protect her, you know. I don't want her to lose it. I don't want her to, you know, go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. So yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call.
When Diddy's case reached federal court, everything changed. Speculation turned into scrutiny. Evidence replaced rumors. But one question remains. Does accountability end in court, or does it start there?
Justin Bieber, and he was talking about Billie Eilish. And he was like, he was broke, almost in tears. He's like, I just want to protect her. I just want to keep her safe.
Yeah.
What do you think he went through?
Because he knows what's been happening to Billie. Just like everybody knew what was happening to Millie Bobby Brown, girl, with Drake. These people are monsters. And Harlem, and they asked him what he thought about what was going on with Diddy, and if he knew Diddy. And I love Dapper Dan for this. He said, I grew up with his parents. I knew his parents. He said, what's going on with him has been going on long before him. Now, his father was a government snitch and a bad actor in the criminal world altogether. The woman that they're saying is his mother was a prostitute, no whore. But there's whispers in the streets of Harlem that Diddy's mother isn't alive. Not his biological mother, that woman is his aunt.
Whoa.
There are whispers.
Wait a minute.
There are whispers. Diddy's story is so convoluted, but nobody really likes talking about who he was before he became Puffy. Nobody, like, I would love if I could be granted an interview with him. To interview Diddy now in his most raw state about his life up until the age of 15 only.
Shit.
We gotta learn how to stop making Diddies. What made him him? Now, his pedigree comes from rat background. His father was a rat snitch. Not revered. He turned on Frank Lucas, who was the king of Harlem. And yet, Diddy was able to, siphon off enough of that juice, just enough to get people, but he needed Gene. Think about this. Gene was more of a father figure to Diddy than he was a bodyguard. And Gene was more than a bodyguard, he was an investigator. So when they went separate ways, clearly he couldn't hold up the acting.
When the noise fades, what remains is the truth. Clapperboard clip 13, voiceover. The story of 50 Cent, Diddy, and Justin Bieber reveals something deeper. A system where power is elevated, vulnerability is hidden, and silence is rewarded. Where youth is marketed, access is disguised as mentorship, and imbalance becomes normal. At what point does the system itself become the real problem?
And at any black guys that are A-listers that's bigger than Diddy, there's only one that I could come up with. And there's a few I could come up with. Will Smith. He's bigger than Diddy. I would think Nick Cannon is bigger than Diddy. Who else on the black that are black actors or black in the business that's an A-lister that's bigger than Diddy that's black? That's hard to think. But then if you got the A-listers, you know, you got to realize he ran with that black that Rat Pack, and I don't want to even say their names, but they said I got their names wrong last time. What's his name? Kushner. What's the other guy? Leonardo. Yeah, his name. Man, I don't keep up with these cats, but I heard that that's not only the tape that's being shot. There's some other tapes out there of other people too with him, and him doing some things with some other people. So there's quite a few tapes that might be out there, what they're hearing, and I don't want to see the tapes, but I want to know if they're really true. Because if they got if they got some tapes out there and it's with some underage, whether it's celebrities or not, it's gonna be crazy, bro. It's gonna be